Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day to each and everyone. So, I am Sir Hanif, your instructor in E224. This is Introduction to Environmental Engineering. So, in here, you can see here that this is C21. It's because ito yung last ko na ginamit, okay, from my other subject, okay, previous subject, which is also an Introduction of Environmental Engineering. So I've decided to use this. It's because they have just the same content, okay, with our subject. But don't worry about this one. No, we are focusing here on ES224. Okay, based on our subject. Okay, so don't worry about this one. Okay, so I have not yet given you an orientation regarding on the subject, no. But I'm assuming that um, you have already oriented with your other subject, okay, by your other instructors. So I'm assuming that those rules and regulations that you have already known is also applicable to this subject. So please apply it here. Okay, so the only thing that I'm about to pointing out here is the percentage, okay, um, or the um, percentage of the activities that we are able to implement here in this subject. Okay, so the first, which is the prelim exam, is about 20%, and for the midterm exam is 20%, and for the final exam is 30%, and for the remaining 30% is for the quizzes and attendance. Okay, and the passing score we have here is 60%. So please do your best to attain that passing score. Okay, so now let us proceed to our discussion. So once again, this is Introduction to Environmental Engineering, ES224. Okay. So let us first have our discussion in here. So we have here the mass and energy transfer. Okay, since in environmental engineering, we are considering those environmental transformation of energies from one place to another also. So just that's why in here, we first have this mass and energy transfer. Okay, so we have here unit and measurement. So I think this paragraph here are self-explanatory. So why let us first go muna dito sa table 1. So as you can see here, this table illustrated the some basic units and conversion factors that we have in this subject. Okay, so we have here the length, mass, temperature, area, volume, energy, power, velocity, flow rate, and density. So usually this flow rate has a very important concept in this subject. Okay, since most of these application is considering the flow of a environmental parameters. Okay, so we have here the SI units. Um, we have for length is meters, for mass is kilograms, for temperature is Celsius, and for area is square meter, for volume is cubic meter, and for energy is um, kilojoule, and for power is watt. For velocity is meter per second, and for flow rate is meter cube per second, and for the density is kilogram per meter cube. And these are the SI symbol. Okay, so okay, then this is the constant or conversion factors. So please refer on it. Also, we have here a liquids. So, syempre, in environmental engineering, one of the important parameters that we have is the liquid. So that's why in here, we will be tackling about that one actually. Okay. So, okay, so wait. So, we have here um, a koan, um, basic unit that should be used in the flow of liquids here. So we have here 1 milligram is 1 milligram per liter is equals to 1 gram per meter cube, or this sometimes called as 1 ppm. So this is by weight, and for microgram per liter, um, it is equals to 1 milligram per meter cube, or it is sometimes it is called as ppb, or by this is also by weight. So throughout this discussion, you will notice this application here. I mean, you will notice the consistency of using these units here. Okay, so please be familiar with this one and how is that derived. Okay, so we have here an example of having that mm using that parameters and specifically these units here. So please refer on it. So actually, no, these are just the basic review on what we have just learned from our previous subjects. Okay, so I thought I'm assuming that you have already know this one. Okay, this is just a review, no, on how to use this one. We are not yet in the top of this subject, so that we first discuss the reviews, no, reviews of the topics that we have in the subject. So we have here gases. Okay, so gas is of course an important parameters in the environment. Okay, so in environments we are dealing most of the gases, no, to study the environment. Okay, based on their characteristic, their temperature, their humidity, and all of the quantities that is moving or flowing with respect to that gas. So, well, basically, we are using one volume of gaseous pollutant per 10 to the power of 6 volume per of air. So, that is approximately equal to 1 ppm by volume. Okay. So, by the way, make a distinguish between this 1 ppm by volume and 1 ppm by weight. Okay. So, sometimes they make use of kasi 'di ba most of the volumes, no, na kuan is we are relating that one by weight, right? So that's why in applying this one, you first make sure that um, the weight or the quantities that you are measuring about is based on what is assumed, okay, by the ppm or by the ppm by weight or um, ppm by volume. But anyway, no, most of the situations naman is stated on what does it mean, no, by volume ba or by weight. So no further ado ba by that one. So um, at least, no, I have reminded you about this. Okay, so in gases, no, most of the analysis that we have here is based on the ideal gas, no. But take note that ideal gas is um, sometimes not in or most of the time talaga is not in the real case, right? So we are just using ideal gas to um, compare, no, the parameters of or environment, or specifically the gases, to compare that in to compare that in the ideal gas. Okay, so kasi yung sa ideal gas kasi kay we are not considering those parameters na humidity, temperature, although mayroon tayong temperature, but the variation of the parameters are not being considered in here. So that's why consistent yung value natin of the relations of pressure, volume, and the temperature here in the ideal gas. Okay? So, um, um, in here, we make sure that the gases that we are studying is related specifically with the ideal gas that we have. Okay, so please study this ideal gas here. And then we have here an example of how does we can calculate parameters, specific parameters of an ideal gas. Just like for example, yung volume or pressure or yung temperature natin. And take note here that the N and R is given here, no, yung kanyang constant. That is actually a constant. Okay? Yung R natin. Yung N is the number of mole. Okay? So, yun. We have actually different examples here. Okay? So, please um, refer on it. Okay? So, I thought these are all concluded our discussion. So if you have any question about this topic, please raise it to me right after this discussion. Okay, so that we have no problem. We don't have any problem with regards to this subject. Okay? So that's all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and be safe.